It is the Tile Happy Hour, and we love talking about tiles. But most of all, we love talking about it with you. So if you're here today, wherever you are, jump in, join the conversation. If you're doing it live, that's awesome. We can comment back to you live. If you're doing it on a review or a rewatch, do it there too. Let us know where you're calling from. John, the guy that right before I hit record says, hold on a second, but I already hit it. So
we are live. This is
I'm not sure exciting. What you wanted to hold on for, but
like, Craig, don't hit start. I just got my house is on fire. Wait.
I didn't know what you're doing, but the signal had already left my brain and went to my finger when you started speaking. So
all right. Yeah. So
everything okay.
What happened was I had a little technical fail for like a half a second, but I was able to recover in that intro. So all is good in the hood. And speaking of the hood, I am in New York. Craig, where are you today?
I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, and it's nice down here. The sun's out. My daughter is just joined the track team, which is unique for me. So we've actually got a track meet soon that I'm going to tear all this stuff down and run out to tomorrow.
That's great.
So I'm excited about that. I got a lot of traveling this first part of 2025. So I'll be coming to see you. I'm going out west to Las Vegas. I'm actually going to Panama to see our team in Panama. So if you're part of the Tile Bar Panama team, give us a shout out. I'll be there at the end of February, and got a lot of things happening. It's been a I feel like it's going to be a very busy year. Yeah. I haven't done anything yet. I feel like it's coming. The floodgate is getting ready to open.
It is now February, basically. And if those of you who are watching are avid fans and follow us and, are what we call our roadies, that just knock on our door and want more tile info. What you've noticed today is we're doing it in the daytime today. Craig's going out. His daughter's got a game. So we're mixing it up today. We're doing the show and we're broadcasting earlier than typical. We started this happy hour Friday nights. It's happy hour, Friday night, have a drink. And that was really good. And then we mixed it up to Tuesday nights. And lately we decided to mix it up a little. We're doing some on different days. Some we're doing at night. Some we're doing in the morning.
We're just really testing the analytics. We want to figure out where the audience wants us to be. So if you have thoughts about that, please drop us a comment. We want to know. I mean, John, we were getting people watching from Australia, which I don't know if I can work around their calendar, but give us your feedback.
Yeah, it's fun. We're just trying it out. We have, no matter where we go, no matter what time we broadcast or day, we find the same people watching, but then we also find a segment of new people that maybe can only do watch at that time. So it's all fun. It's all good. But with the magic of the interweb, a lot of our touch points really are not live. Craig was trying to say before the word encore. He just couldn't spit it out. So if you're watching this as an encore, right, that means it was taped, right, at one point, and it was, it was live at one point, and then it was put out. So you may be watching this as an encore presentation, and that's where we get a lot of our viewers, because there's a bunch of people that follow Craig and follow myself and are interested in what we're talking about, or not interested in just somehow following us and don't know how to unfollow us, and it's just by default we're here. So this is the Tile Happy Hour. We're here to talk about tile, stone, glass, LVT, current events, important stuff, not important stuff. We keep it light, we keep it fun. We just love our industry, we love what we do, and we want to share it with you. And like Craig always says, he wants to tile the world, and I want to go along for the ride with that. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so if maybe you're watching a short and you'll see my Instagram handle under me, kind of right there. John's is right there. Those things pop up all the time. We read those comments too. So John, I was doing some research for the shows, and I'm always kind of looking at the Google Trends and see what the questions are out there in the industry. And there was one that I read that I felt, well, this is John's wheelhouse. We probably shouldn't even talk about it because he won't let me talk. But I'm going to bring it up anyway.
All right. You started it.
Yeah. So the question was, are bold colors out or in? And what is the bold trend? And I think there's a kind of sidebar to that. Does bold in design for your tile and stone, does it necessarily only deal with colors, or could it be a change in design? So,
love the question. So actually, let's give a little insight into our show here. Craig and I, this is not scripted. We literally like flip on our technology, get our studios lit up, rev it up, get a drink, and we just go for it, and often don't even know where we're heading, and not even sure.
That's kind of that philosophy is dealt with in most of my life. Exactly,
and we don't even know. Not only do we do not know where we're heading, we do not know if we'll be back. It's just we're here, but we're keeping it real, right?
Absolutely.
This is much better than watching, madness on the news or some canned laughter on a sitcom, although I love those. But we're here at a Tile Happy Hour. If you're just a little bit of a tile geek or a big tile geek or a tile nerd, as we call it, you're welcome here. Everyone is welcome because we have a big tent. We're a big umbrella, right? We want you all here. We're glad you're watching. And like Craig alluded to, we want you to comment. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us when you want to see the show. Tell us, maybe ask us a question, a technical question, an aesthetic question between Craig's knowledge, which is, heavily weighted in technical parts of the industry, design, tile use, aesthetic questions, which is more of my expertise. And together we have the skills of one solid person, but individually, we're here. So what was the question again, Craig?
Once again, John, takes the question was about being bold with your tile design.
All right.
And so I would like to kind of get maybe some examples of being bold, and then get your opinion on, is being bold what's trending now?
So let me give you an answer. Yeah, I think people are being bold. Of course, a lot of it has to do with where you are in life. Mm-hmm. If you have one home and you've lived in there for X amount of years, and you always want to do that kitchen, and you always wanted to have a hand-painted fruit basket on your backsplash, and you finally get around to do it, then that's what you do. But there are people, especially in my territory, let's use the classic example of you have a brownstone in Manhattan and you have your summer home in the Hamptons. And I find always the styles of those homes are different, because in the city, you have that, very metropolitan look, clean or whatever that may be. And in the Hamptons, it's different. It's beachy. And so it depends on where you are in life, and if you have multiple residents, you have a vacation home or not. But in general, being bold is definitely in, because the days of just white tile and gray tile, which we all lived through, that has gone. That has plateaued, peaked. Still there, will always be there. But now we're back with tile, with colors and patterns, and maybe we could show some examples. What do you think, Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a designer, and that's why this is going to be your show. When you were talking about white tile and gray tile, I live for that. I love that. I love color, but as an installer, it's like, oh my gosh, you're maybe a little self-conscious about color.
You know what, Craig? The trick is that tile is permanent. Like, it doesn't have to be permanent, but can be permanent.
Yeah.
So you're more inclined to be daring with wallpaper than tile, because in 11 years, if you're tired of it, it's an expense. But again, back to what I started with, is depending on your disposition. If you're a person that's going to be selling that home in 10 years and upgrading to a beach house in the Hamptons or wherever, it doesn't matter. Buy something, you love it, use it for 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, and move on. You live once. So yeah. So let's look at the tile. Love to look at tile.
Yeah. You want me to pull up that Emery series first? You want to start there?
Emery. Yeah, I like Emery. So Emery, this is the epitome of bold.
Yeah, and see, I love this. I would have no idea how to design a space with it, but I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. So a couple of things about this tile. It's not the normal tile for a few reasons. First, it's a handmade tile, so it's kind of irregular. As you could see, that's like a cross section. Those are like tiles stacked up in a box, let's say, and you're looking at it from the cross section. And that first place, I'm just going to take that picture and frame it and hang it in my living room, I think, because I like that picture. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. It's like artwork.
So let's just go technical for a second. Let's go tile nerdy. So when they glaze that product, it's flat, not standing on end, and the glaze kind of drips over the edge. And the edges are not intended to be fully glazed, but they can be depending on, happenstance. So, and then you see the terracotta coming through. This tile is really cool because it kind of covers a couple categories. It's kind of a terracotta body. It's handmade, and it's also bold and daring. And hence, therefore, it's probably pretty costly. Do you have let's scroll down and look at the cost of this product. Super nice material. And it doesn't have to be bold. It could be white, and it's 30 to 40, maybe more. There's even a metal glaze too. There's 2 metal glazes. There's a mixed blend. But let's look at the emery orange 4x4. So let me ask you, Craig, where do you think commercially, what industry would use this color typically in a commercial space? You want me to give you multiple choice?
This actual color?
Yeah, this color.
I mean, orange you always use in a restaurant. From what I hear, the reason Bojangles, if you don't know what that is, look it up, is orange, is because orange makes you hungry.
Exactly. So you didn't need the multiple choice. I was going to give you clothing store, food establishment, or funeral home. Those were going to be my multiple choices. So I had pretty good faith you weren't going to pick funeral home. Second, clothing store. Maybe. So so there is something about. I remember back a long time ago going to the shopping mall when there was such a thing. So folks that are young, there used to be like these big buildings with a lot of stores inside, and you walk in a common area, and it's called a shopping mall. And there used to be something like a Woolworths or these stores, and they used to sell food, fried chicken, pizza, whatever. And they had orange lights over the food, keeping it warm, but also it didn't have to be orange, could have been white, but they make them orange because it makes the food look more appetizing, and it also makes you hungry or acknowledges your hunger. I'm not sure what the word is. So how we got off into fried chicken and shopping malls, I'm not sure. But the emery tile not only has orange.
I'm not either, because I'm.
Yeah, look at that. So you
I
wouldn't
brought up that metal one for you.
Yeah, so emery bronze brown, a lot of range, almost like a reactive glaze. And what that means is when it's fired, it has like some sort of properties to it that the outcome is not 100% clear until you see it, but you like it, like a raku, like a Japanese style of making tile, like a raku. It's like a really crude process. This is a little more refined, but look at the range. Look at the beauty of that. Yeah, $40 a foot, but it's artwork. It's made by hand. Now the copper and the bronze usually call for a little more money, but what do you think of that? You like that?
I like it. I like the bold colors better. I like the simplicity of the reds, the whites, those blues. I think are really attractive and appealing.
Right.
So that's my favorite. But I could definitely see, anytime I see a tile, I think about where I would use it. I definitely see that copper look in a speakeasy.
A bar. That's what I was thinking when you said that. Are there other sizes? Because there's in the Emery series. I think there's
there's the 4x8. I think there's a 4x4.
Yeah. So you can do things with 4x4s, 4x8s. You can even mix them together and create a pattern, which could give you a bold look. Even if you're using 2x8s are a really nice size. Interesting subway size, right? Typical subway historically was 3x6. So you can mix it up with patterns, using different sizes, different colors. There's the white, there's the yellow, there's the red, there's the bronze, there's the copper. Wow. That is like pop.
That's bold. I mean, you talk about bold colors, that you didn't get any.
It doesn't get bolder. More bolder than that.
More bolder. So there's no more bolder than that.
Yeah, so I think the Emery is a great choice, Craig. But as you see, the price is kind of because of two things: because it's handmade, and it's because of the glaze, the reds and the yellows. But if you did notice, the white was the same price. I think there probably is a little less of a cost to produce the white, but I think if there wasn't the white, we'd probably charge more for the yellow and red. And I think we just came out a number that was like, just average it out and have one price for the whole line. So you're not distracted by that when you're designing.
And John, when you're suggesting a tile like this, I mean, normally if you're going to go with something bold, that bold red or that bold yellow, it's not an entire room. It's an accent piece, right?
Yeah, residentially, yes. I don't see someone doing a whole bathroom in that, but I can see somebody doing a wall in that, a feature wall. You want to have a beautiful laundry room and you want to make it bright. You do like one wall in yellow and then the rest of the wall you're painting white. And so it's really more of a feature wall. If it's a restaurant and that's the theme of the restaurant, I could see a bigger space with it, or a bar with it, or a food servicing. Sometimes you have open kitchens in a restaurant and that whole back wall could be like all yellow, all orange.
I don't understand that trend of the open kitchen. I'm not.
Yeah. If I was, look, I know how I cook and I don't want anyone to see how I make stuff. You get the 3-second rule. If something falls on the floor, sometimes it's 5 seconds, depending on, what it is. So I don't want anyone to see how the sausage is made. So
I've seen too many Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares. I don't want to be amongst all that. But anyway.
What do you think? What's the appeal, you think, of the open restaurant? It's just the vibe?
I think it's just a vibe. Maybe you feel like this chef is there for. I don't know. It seems like there was one time I was in a professional dinner. And it was like less than 10 of us, and they had a table in the kitchen. And I felt I was distracted. I couldn't pay attention to what we were talking about because I was watching the bread guy. I don't.
Well, when you're sitting down with a hospitality designer, and for those who maybe aren't familiar with the words, that's not somebody who designs hospitals. That's somebody who designs hotels and restaurants.
I'm not sure anybody got that mixed up, but go ahead.
So a hospitality designer, the first questions they're asking you is like, they're sitting down with a couple of partners. Hey, we want to open a restaurant. We hear you're a good designer. We want you to design a restaurant. Okay. What type of food? Okay. A. B. What kind of vibe do you want? Is this an open kitchen or a closed kitchen? That's a huge question. That's just like number one. That's number two. Number three is this going to be tablecloth or not? It's a real question.
I guess that does make sense.
And there, I know some designers, a lot of my clients, they'll say, hey, we're working on a restaurant currently. It's not tablecloth, but they want it to be tablecloth and they want to upgrade it. Because think about it. How many places have you been to? Craig, I know you're from North Carolina. Have you ever been to a restaurant with tablecloths or anything like that?
No, we, plastic sporks and
Did you say sporks?
Sporks, yeah. I don't understand what's wrong with it. It's the best of both worlds. It's a spoon and a fork at the same time.
Hey, that's an upgrade from just using your hands, which is probably what you used to,
You just think it's one less utensil than using a. Now they have a spork that has a little serrated edge on one end. It's all three together.
We need a name for that. Spork
knife. I don't know. But look how much farther we've come than chopsticks. So
true, right? And just look how off track the show has gone at the same time.
I was going to get you back on track to think: does bold necessarily only mean colors?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think there's bold choices, right?
Yeah, bold choices is good. And I guess what I think when you're talking about tile, it could be pattern, right? You could have something not orange, but or yellow. And okay, let's see what you got there.
I mean, you think of designing a bathroom, white wall tile. Let's just go with it. But I see here, I mean, they chose.
Is that the Angela Harris tile? The Mediterra? I think that's the Mediterra.
Angela Harris, yeah, Mediterra.
So Angela Harris is one of our top designers, super dynamic. She creates lines for Tile Bar and super hands-on, very, very, really nice person to work with. And this line, so this is now, so yeah, it really has a nice pattern to it. And circles, because when you think of tiles, right, don't you usually think of squares and rectangles, hexagons? Yeah. And we have penny rounds. So penny rounds are unique because they're round. So this is nice because of that. Also, maybe we could click on to like a room. I see like a floor shot?
I mean, I think it. Rather than going with just a plain pattern tile, I'm thinking, this is a bold choice. I'm gonna take this design, even though it's not necessarily a bold color. It's not bright red, bright orange. It's muted colors, but the design gives you a statement.
Do you like this?
I like it. I think it's cool, especially in this room scene here. I want to go have a espresso there. I've never had an espresso, but I feel like if I had this room near me, I could get one.
It's a very minimalistic bar. Like we have one thing to offer you, maybe two.
Exactly. Yeah.
Where we have three. So yeah, not much choice there. But it's pretty. I think it was staged, right, for a picture. But it's like they take pictures of the house, and the closet has four shirts and two pairs of shoes, right? This is really nice. So this is a good example, Craig. Good choice of a tile that is bold and pattern, but doesn't scream at you color wise. And there are other colors in the series, but still have nothing over the top color wise. I feel that it's just a certain look. So Mediterra Circle. This is a hot tile, This is really a big seller.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in a scenario. This has been in a sold out position a few times. I think our demand exceeded our initial expectations, and we've ramped up the inventory at tilebar.com. And so Mediterra is a floor tile and a wall tile. Oh, so before we were looking at the emery is.
Look at this, John.
Oh yeah. So
they demoed that bar area and installed a whole new tile. How did they do that?
That is amazing. I mean, look at the expense that we go through a tile bar. We have actually tiled the bar, and then we grouted it, and then we took a picture and we ripped it up. If there was only a way to do that digitally, I think we would do it. So, Craig,
the great thing is at tilebar.com, you can do that digitally. And John, I know you're waiting with bated breath for our training event that's happening.
Wait, are you saying we didn't actually rip that up? I mean, I was going to put that in the employee suggestion box.
Didn't. But actually, on our training event next week, you will see that rendering take place live on video. But what a great option. If you want to be bold with your tile, this feature on tilebar.com not only gives you the chance to put this tile in different situations, you can put it in your own situation. You can take a picture of your room, put the bold tile there, see if you love it, change it if you don't. No demo required.
I love that. Be kind of new and current, and be young. Do something bold, right? Don't be old. Be bold.
That sounds like a great thing to live by. Don't be old. Be bold.
That's it.
So what else are you thinking on being bold with your tile design? Being bold with your
well, sometimes it's always, when you think of bold, I think of color first, I do, and then pattern. But there's also, you can add materials, like being bold with the type of material. Instead of just ceramic or porcelain, you can do glass. Right. And this is Elizabeth Sutton. This is another designer for Tile Bar, super dynamic. And I think in the world of designers, her middle name is Bold. I mean, she's just bold. And so this is really apropos for her. It really is. So
yeah, it's neat.
Cool.
It has a theme. You know, I would call this theme plum. I don't know. I just made that up, but
well, there is. She did name each color blend. So what you're looking at is a glass tile, kind of like art glass, kind of like stained glass, super thin glass, where we're able to create these really cool looks and luminescence and colors. It's pretty thin, and so on that sheet, so there's a picture of a sheet, right? And a sheet has like 24 pieces. 1, 2, 3. Scale back, push back, pull back a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4, right? So apparently, if my math is right, there's 24 pieces of individual glass tiles that were designed individually, and then, in addition to designing it individually, Elizabeth took the time to kind of make blends and decided to mount them on a netting or a clear tape face sheet, and now grouped pieces together, and each colorway has a theme, right? So that's called, a theme, a colorway. And so there's a lot of exciting patterns. We do not offer those in
Malibu.
Yeah. So yeah, really cool. So this is hard to see in photography, but there's some nice blues there, some kind of cool tones of different colors.
It's very unique.
It is. So we do not offer,
and some of the glass almost mimics stone.
It mimics stone. It mimics glass. It mimics, Venetian plaster. It mimics all sorts of things. Like there's all sorts of feelings depending on the color. It does vary a lot. It's much more luminescent than it shows on the website. In person, it's glass, and some of them have an iridized finish. So that's really cool, Craig, because it has the patterns bold, the material is bold, the colors are bold, and the blend of the colors. So, Craig, did you see if we had any of those colors? Yeah, did you see if we had any of those like individually? Like, are we selling a sheet of all white or all blue?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
No, we don't. Yeah, so even though we could do that, and maybe that would be an interesting next step, like if somebody wanted to do, a whole room in it, but didn't want to do the whole, everything too bold. But then you can just do a ceramic.
Yeah,
you could do a ceramic tile.
Maybe in another series, but I don't see it.
There. I brought it up kind of knowing that we didn't, and just to bring out a point. I don't think it.
You
I don't
knew
think it's
the
necessary.
answer before you asked the question. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good lawyer for you, right? Don't ask a question if you don't know the answer you're going to get on stand. The reason I brought it up was to prove a point where the tile, yes, we could have made a sheet of all white glass or all blue glass, but let that be a ceramic tile or a porcelain tile, and then just use her meta glass as your feature wall, a backsplash, a bar, a back wall of your tub or shower, a corporate entrance, lobby walls. Really, really super cool. So out of those three, I know they're totally different. Which one do you appreciate the most?
Emery is my favorite. I like Emery. Right. I was told the other day, I'm trying to redesign my bathroom. One of our designers told me, she said, just because you like the tile doesn't mean it fits in the design. So I'm not a designer, but John, to kind of round things out, if you've got a designer or an architect that wants to be bold, what's the one thing you want them to walk away with thinking about?
Don't be afraid of you live once. I mean, let's be kind of philosophic here. You live once. I had a client once come to me and say, I'm doing a new bathroom, husband and wife, and they were like, but we want to do white because, when we sell the house, we want it to be, we want it to be. And I'm like, do you have the house like on the market now? No, maybe, 5-6 years after kids get a college. I'm like, F that. just do what you want right now, because
Yeah.
guess what? You do white, some people can walk into your house. You suffered all your whole life with something very plain. If you wanted something bold, you kind of missed out. And the people buying your house hate white. So you and your husband can't even decide on what you want. Now you want to pick for the person who's going to buy your house, who don't even know who they are in 9 years from now. So do it bold, live life once. It's really important to just enjoy your environment, because you know what, Craig? All the stuff means nothing, meaning this is just design. This is just decor. They're right. There are people out there that don't have bathrooms. So here you are, you have a bathroom, you have a kitchen. Let's live life. Pick something nice, enjoy it. Would you agree with that, Craig?
Absolutely. I agree. And if you feel like being bold, be bold. And if you don't know design like me, get professional help. And when I say professional help, I mean a designer, not a psychiatrist.
Right.
But I need both.
Or both. Yeah. I met, I know some people shopping for tile, so that we should offer that. But yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, this has been fun. I have a hard time deciding between Angela Harris and Elizabeth Sutton, because I love them both, and they're both for different reasons. Those two designs.
Well, don't decide. You have different rooms. Put one. You can have an Angela Harris bathroom, and you can have a. Mine went blank.
Elizabeth Sutton, but not in the same house. Okay, I got to pull you back a little. You're not putting the Meta in one room and the Mediterra in another. Okay. Like, yes, Manhattan, Hamptons, right? You can put different rules. Products.
Gotcha.
There are rules. So the moral of the story here is: do not go to Craig for anything design oriented, technical only. Design, you come to me.
Absolutely.
Don't be old, be bold. Come to me and we'll take care of you. And if you do have questions, Craig, what do people do? They like sitting around and what they have a question, what should they do?
They should reach out to us. Our Instagram handles are under our names. Find us there, wherever you're watching this video. Send us a message. Hashtag don't be old, be bold. Send us your bold tile pictures. We want to see them. Tag us in them.
That's a good idea.
But it's been a great conversation, kind of outside of my box. But that's what we got to do every day, is learn more outside of the box. So
yeah, we do. That's what we're here for. We enjoy talking to you. We're glad you're watching. You may be watching us live. You may be watching us on an encore presentation on X, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Track us down. Send us a message. Private message us. Comment on the platform if you'd like. And we'll get back to you. We'll get back to you individually. We actually do have segments where we're answering questions online, live and all that stuff. So yeah, this has been fun. And looking forward to our next episode. We have some real exciting stuff coming up, and hopefully you guys will tune in then. And this is John Tedisco, and I'd like to wish you peace, health, and happiness.
And this is Craig from down south. Let's keep learning together and tile the world.